And we're back with another episode of Let's Play Car Mechanics Simulator 2021. I'm your host, RPG Guy, and it's been a while since I've played this. Been busy with work and other things, but we got to level 20. We pretty much sold off all those cars we worked on, putting us at a hefty 180k, and finally reaching level 20. We have 5 available skill points. We're gonna just go right here for the discounts right here. Boom. So yeah. We'll have to do some more to get this stuff unlocked. I think these might be more valuable. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. Well, let's get busy, huh? Let's get busy. LaCroix Fret. Good morning. I'm here with a discreet matter. During a business trip, I had a little accident. After the meeting, we had a little garden party that transformed into a longer meetup. I was on my way back to the hotel with the guys from work, and I left the car by the pub. I returned for the car in early morning. I must have been a bit sleep-deprived and a little disoriented. It so happened that I snagged on a pole at the parking lot and a boom barrier. And to top it off, there was some boor who was in a hurry and forced the right-of-way. You see, the car isn't really expensive, but I prefer if the management didn't know about the condition in which I was driving around in the company car or what is now left of it. I'd rather cover the cost out of my own pocket, as if nothing ever happened. Please fix what you need. My career could depend on it. I made some arrangements with the owner of the car, but as sales representative, I hope to have a clean slate at the pizzeria management. I mean the delivery company. Do what you can. I hope you can keep our little secret. See you. Okay. Repair body parts. Whatever. Let's take a look. It looks like it's mostly just body parts, not really actual work that needs to be done. Doesn't mean we won't diagnose the car, because it's a functional car. Gives us XP. But let's see here. Oh, no, never mind. Windshield, rear bumper, front bumper. Okay. Let's see really quick if we can just fix the bumpers. No, it's just a windshield at that point. Nope. So, let's go ahead. Of course it doesn't come up. We need the front bumper. We need the rear bumper. And we need the windshield. And just really quick. Boom. Change oil. Drain old refill with new. Spray it the factory color. Other tasks. Change brake fluid. Change coolant fluid. Form headlight and wheel alignments. Okay. We still got to diagnose what's wrong with this thing, because I just saw the exhaust pipe and it looked pretty bad, and the suspension. Oh, whatever that is. Medium intercooler. Okay, let's just diagnose this thing anyway, just because there could be all kinds of little things wrong that we do not outright see. And the bushings are bad on it, too. I saw a bad exhaust pipe on the back, too, so that'll be a thing. Okay, that all looks good. Tires are good. Tasty drink. Tasty drink. I'm such a jackass. Yeah, no, it all looks good, but I'm kind of expecting that. Okay. So far, we've not found anything, which is great. That means this car is not as bad off as you would think. To drain it of its current fluids. I believe we're gonna have to refill all of this anyway. Looks like the back axle's pretty bad as well, so it looks like more damage is done to the suspension, especially in the back. So we'll get to that. Of course, we can't see it. It looks like most of the damage is to the back suspension. Alright, nice and full. Okay, we're gonna leave that open because we need to drain the oil. We'll have to put new oil in, but we'll also fix what's on the below part of the car too. That was it. Just a few drips. Alright, out you go. Alright. Now, I'm getting 4 because I can't tell what's actually bad when it comes to the bushings, but I know I saw at least one or two bad bushings, so the sooner we just get rid of it, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Okie dokie. Excuse me. Okay. Get rid of that. Now, what else do we need? Like I said, I think most of the damage is back here. 2 of those. 4 of those. That looks okay. The rear suspension cross member be bad as well. I don't know what we can repair either, so here's what we're gonna have to do. Is we're just gonna have to take the whole back suspension apart and go through it kind of piece at a time here. Oh yeah, that can go. Can't even fix that. It looks like it's down to the rear knuckle housing as well. That's okay. The bushings do seem okay, but we're just gonna replace them. I don't see a point in keeping them. Yeah, you just gotta take the whole thing apart. So let's see. Same deal here. Get rid of that. Much like the other side, you just gotta take this all off. Now, strangely enough, all of these are okay, but like I said, we're gonna replace them anyway. Because the part is so cheap, and I'd rather not have to, like, oh, you didn't put them in the right order, get fucked. And I'm like, don't want to have to deal with that. That is a thing in this game. Oh, this part had 80%, but you replaced, or 90%, but you replaced it with the 80% piece. It's like, fuck off. And a lot of this we might even be able to repair. Which means we wouldn't have to buy it. But we'll see. Alright. All of that's done. You know, I shouldn't really do that because I'm repairing stuff that's not part of the car. So it's not. In other words, I'm repairing stuff that's just, yeah, it's not technically part of the car. That needed to be fixed, and I shouldn't really be doing that. Because you never know, like, how you're gonna get screwed because you did that. Need one of those. Two of those. One of those. One of those. Two of these. Two of those. There it is. Alright. Let's do the front real quick first. There's just clearly not as much to do. But what we could do is fix this stuff and then sell it. Once the broken stuff that we are sitting on, we can try to fix that if the game will let us. But I don't want to fix the stuff on this car that's not part of it. Oh, I gotta replace that too. Almost missed that. I'm using the wrong parts, but whatever. We'll buy more bushings if I have to. They're so nominal and so cheap, I just don't care. In real life, they are not that cheap, to my understanding. So they're all 90 right there, so that's good. And here we go. Gotta reconnect all of this shit. Nice. Okay. One side done. Nice. And in it goes, and I think I'm missing something, but I don't know what it is. Ever get that feeling like you forgot to do something? I still, and it's not the oil. I know that. We haven't put new oil, fresh oil in. But that won't show up on the regular repair bill. It'll be in its own area. Yeah, that's good. We gotta do that. And do that. So we're almost actually done with this car with plenty of time to go. Or to spare. And we're not really close to leveling either. So that it's a reminder that, what's great about this version over 18, and what's bad about this one over 18, is the missions seem to be not as close, but who knows? There might be a second mission car coming up very shortly here. And I just don't know because we haven't gotten there yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and paint this to factory default. So, done, and then all we gotta do is headlamp and wheel alignment. So that's gonna be over in the, by the test path. I don't think we gotta run the test path either, we just gotta... I think that's it. One of the easier jobs that we've had to do, and I'm trying to figure out the logistics of why. But it could maybe be that, we had to discover a lot of this on our own. And we've had enough experience that it's not really a problem. Let's finish this order. And then, yeah, we're kind of at the mercy of the darn game again. Because we have to wait till we get to level 21 at this point. So here's my thing I have learned from working on cars and kind of redoing cars. You get more money, but you don't get as much experience. So it's a trade-off kind of thing going for it. You get more experience working on cars like this because you get to diagnose them with the tools. And because you get to diagnose them with your tools, you're more likely to find what's wrong with them. Or not more likely in a sense or what have you, but you're going to find what's wrong with them via your tools. The negative is they can take a little longer to work with. They take a little longer to deal with, so there is that element, but you're getting the XP, and then you're pulling the cars roughly apart enough that you can do it. I will say this, and I made a mistake with this yellow car here. Taking a car that's parts are in the 80s and higher is preferred, just because it'll be easier to diagnose, but you can run all the tests anyway. So they're still 1,000 short, and it roughly would take us about 1,000 per car. As you can see, there's a lot of work that's got to be done. You can see it's quite intricate, which is fine. It's not a deal breaker, but what we got to do is we got to make money off of these, and it's easier said than done. And well, we'll make money. We won't make a lot, but we'll make money. And the minimum part of 55, huh? But what do they really want us to do here? Parts to fix. Oh, they even tell us too. Oh no, some not discovered. But we can we can go back to what I said though. Increase tuning of car by 5 to 10%. This I kind of hate. Not in a bad way, but it does mean you got to put in some nicer parts. But we'll worry about that after we beef this up. Or not after we beat this up, after we diagnose it. But like I said, it's really, you're getting these cars to diagnose. And I have a feeling that if you just really want to power through this, you just don't finish them. But that seems to be counterintuitive to me. So as you can see, the fuel filter is bad. And again, we got to do some higher tier repair here. So we could go to like here, type in fuel alone, and there's our fuel filter, which gives us what? 0.6%. So boom, we'll get rid of that. Again, there's a gearbox down there. We could, I think, buy the fancy gearbox. I'd rather not. But yeah, like I said, let's see here. I know we can do new air filter. Because it did say new air... Oh, you know what? I shouldn't take all this apart. We didn't diagnose it all yet. We know the fuel filter is bad. Okay. Like I said, I was, getting ahead of myself here. Okay. As I drink my iced tea from In-N-Out Burger. Test the multimeter. Again, anything under 55 is of interest to us. It did say there were engine problems, so it wouldn't surprise me if we find like a bad con rod or something, or spring. But actually, we're okay in that department. Spark plugs are pretty good. Most of the electronics are good, so really, I think what we need to do, if we need to get 5%, we're at 0.5% with the fuel filter. Yay. It's not going to get us all the way there. Air filter type A. So we can go to, it was type A, there it is. So that puts us at 2% theoretically. We're gonna have to get to this guy. The oil filter is bad. Yeah, we don't have that option, but we could get these replaced. And trying to do this as cheaply as possible. Let's put some of this back together and then take a look. I think we're like at 4. Get on there. So we know that that's 0.6 and 1.5. So that's going to be 2.1. And these ignition coils are 0.70. So 1.4 and 1.4 be 2.8 plus the 0.1. So we're like just a little short. I would argue just a hair short. So we need to improve the car in at least one more significant way. That's not painfully expensive. And I think the best way to do it would be to do the clutch plate, because we're going to be repairing the clutch. So we could do both of these, and that guarantees us pretty much everything else. So let's do clutch. All right, because we gotta go and do the gearbox anyway. So at this point, it doesn't really matter. All right. Now, I did say there was some poor brake performance, but it wasn't the electronics, so it could be in the back of the car. I don't know why I took that off, but I did. Alright, oh, we need to get another oil filter. Definitely gonna need another one of those. There's our problems right there. 2 of them. Possibly more. Bad brake, too. Come here. Off it comes. And like I said, we're gonna... It looks like the plate behind it is bad, so... But we are going to put in a higher quality set of material anyway. Because I said so. And that should give us the 5% that we need. So, let's get back together. We could fix that, but I'd rather just get it done. Put that finance on this guy. Let's work on this side over here first, because we know that the broken pad and disc came from over here. And there's no question about what needed to be replaced. Or where the bad part came from. Now, we're still not done with the brake performance issue. We'll check that in a moment. I also need to double check. We need to do the engine oil as well. So we're going to drain that before we say we're done with the front of the car. There, so yeah, we did do that. Did that. 2 parts not found. Ooh, timing. Okay. We need to do the timing. I totally did not think about that. Not a problem. We are going to finish the brake stuff, though, while we're here. Because there's 2 more broken brake parts that are missing. And I'd hate to lower the car and start working until I know I don't need to work with the car anymore. Okay, we need one of those. That means the other broken piece is going to be over here. Might have to drain the coolant too if we gotta go to the timing belt, because we usually gotta dick around with the water pump, right? So that'll be a thing. We've already drained the oil, so that's good. Okay. So all that's really left, I think, is the timing. We'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that's what's left. Good. Not good. We haven't really done that. We'll do that last. Okay, so let's go ahead and drain the coolant. And now we do the delicious timing belt. Alright. All of it's probably, because you can clearly see all of what's wrong with the timing belt is blanketedly hidden. Pretty much. I can't see any bad parts right out the gate. Except for that one screw, if you want to count the screw. But, yeah, there we go. Okay, so we need a new water pump. Actually, to be fair, is it not all in here? Timing chain and water pump. So that's good. Okay, so this... Good thing we dumped the coolant, because it's going to be an issue. But it's not deeper than this. The rest of it is actually on the other side of the car. I think. I really think. Okay. So we can put this back. You guys will see what I mean in a minute. I'm not going to go any further than that. Because I believe the part they're talking about is right here. Yep. And that should be the rest of it. Boom. Boom. That. Alright, there's that. Oil. Done, 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 done. Nice. $7,000. Get out. Oops. Forgot the starter. Not gonna be able to go fast without the starter. Of course I did, because I did a timing belt. And look at that. So we went from like 500, so we got about 300 XP for that car. Not bad. Not the worst, but not bad either. Strange noise from engine bay. General engine control and repair. Fix suspension. Clunks and rattles. Gear running. General running gear control and repair. Loud exhaust and other tasks. So those are just refills, but we can't even bother with these two until we look at this engine. But, I mean, what are we talking about here? Clearly there's a bad exhaust right there, so that would be the noisy exhaust. Right? Those are the two loud exhaust pieces. Those are easy enough to fix. That and that. There's a bad shock absorber cap. Bad oil pan. Some bad parts in here. Yeah, we got our work cut out for us. Again, but again, oops, a bad air filter cover. Base doesn't look bad though. Well, the base looks kind of beat up too. I'll have to look at those. You can see the suspension there is, the steering rack rather, is going to be the bad suspension they're talking about. See, look at the back of the car. Back of the car doesn't look as bad. I see a bad spring cap back there. So, a lot of the problems are going to be pretty much the engine. Let's just remove the coolant. Remove the windshield washer fluid. That'll remind me to do them more so than anything else. Okay. Let's do some tests here. Yeah, the fuel filter's bad. That's simple enough. Wherever it is, there it is. Tires are probably fine. I should look at the threshold again to make sure what the repair threshold actually is. 64. Okay. Yeah, that's 65. So far, so good. I mean, clearly, you can see there's stuff wrong mostly around the timing area. As far as inside the engine, it's hard to say. We're going to find out right now, though. I have a feeling it's going to be piston fuel. Be the Comrod rocker arm. Piston with Conrod, yeah. And to be fair, I'm one of those guys that just says replace them all if you're going to be that way about it. It's faster to just replace all of them. And it's a V8, so it's going to be a bastard to do. Now, when we get to the Conrad, though, we only need to replace the one. So that shouldn't be too big of an issue, because we won't need to go deeper than that. But we do need to open the oil pan, and then we need to look at all the connectors underneath, so that might help us find the rest of those issues, too. Holy boy. Oh, my God. Got our work cut out for us on this guy. Look at that, we're already almost to 950. Ignition coil's bad. Another ignition coil, 2 other ignition coils are bad. So we're slowly knocking out what's bad on this car, most of them being the ignition coils. Okie dokie. So, we have a plan here. None of it's good, but the engine is pretty much falling apart. I don't know if I added that or not. So we really need to, per se, dig into this. Like, here's a bad ignition coil. You know. But it's clearly the problem is at the base of this car. Inside, the interior of this car is jacked up. Looks nice on the outside to a degree, but on the inside not so much. And we've got 2 more broken ignition coils. But in order to get conrods out, you got to take the entire engine apart. And this is actually V8 DOHC. This is like a specialty variant. It's neat that we're working on a different variant of this type of car. And clearly there's bad exhaust there. We'll have to replace that. We got to take it all off anyway. How bad are the rockers? Not too bad. In case I don't have it. Yeah, we gotta take the spark plugs out. Now, I had said earlier that we would probably need to replace all of the, thingamajigs. All of the, rocker arms. I don't know if we're gonna necessarily need to if it's just the one rocker arm. And the reason I say this is because if we keep a mental note of which rocker frickin' arm it is, we probably will be okay. Let's just make sure. If there's multiple rocker arms, then we'll just replace them all. Just the one. Actually, looks like it's just the one. And it's in a very specific spot that's easy to remember. Now remember, there's only one bad piston with conrod, so if we can just open this up, and hopefully it's on this, if it's on this side, we're even luckier, and I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping it's where the broken rocker arm is, because it would make, number one, it would make logistic sense, because if the conrod went bad, it would ruin one of the rocker arms, maybe. I don't know if I did it or not. I know we only really need one of every part, excluding the ignition coils. Okay, we need one of those, at least. 2 of those. And they're the back 2. And it doesn't get us out of the woods yet with this car. Oh, a 3rd one is needed. In a very peculiar spot, so I don't know. We might have to buy a whole set of those. I think the last screw on the bottom there is rusted. Yeah. I like that feature. There's something about it that I find fascinating. Alright, yeah, there's the bad conrod right there. Piston, rather. Okay. So in order for us to get to it, we now have to go under the car. We'll drain it of the oil. Glug, 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 glug. Glug, 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 glug. Alright. We're not going to worry about the suspension or the shocks yet, because I want to get this done. So we need a new oil pan. take a look at the damage here. Okay, we've got more damage down here than just the initial bullshit. We need to replace this guy. Now the other caps look pretty good. I don't see a bad conrod cap or rod cap, and only the crankshaft bearing cap. Only that one looked bad. So you really just need to remove this one. And so we need to lower the car. Okay. One of those. We only need one of those. We haven't removed that part yet. One of those. We need. That's in a different section. Rocker arm. Only needed one of those. Only 3 of those, and they were in weird places, but we'll figure it out. One of those. Hopefully figure it out. The oil pan. Alright, and then for electrical. Okay. The bad rods were at the back. 2 of them are at the back. These 2 here. I want to say the other bad one was like either here or here. I think it was the 3rd one from the end. I think it was this one. We know that that was the bad rocker arm. There we go. Now I'm not convinced that we need to put the intake manifold back on yet, and the reason being is I do think we need to check the other side. I am short some of these. Am I not? What did I just put in there? 64. Okay, I'm short 1. I guess I needed more than that. Or did I not buy 3? Maybe I had 4 I had to replace. It's fine. Again, I have a very strong suspicion that the game's going to be like, hey, fucker, you didn't put them in the right order. So, you gotta do it again. Like, fuck that. No, if it does, it does. Whatever. I mean, it's shitty, but it's a shitty deal, but whatever. What are you gonna do? The game says you gotta do it, you gotta do it. Even though the owner of the car would not know. Unless they themselves were a mechanic. If that was the case, why in the hell are they letting me touch their car? Most mechanics would never allow another mechanic to touch their car, unless they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. Which is a completely different story. Did I take the head off of that one? I did. Well, we know that it was these 2 that were bad on this side. And on this side, I want to say it was the one on the end. On the end furthest deeper into the deepest into the car. I think it was this one. And I don't think it matters for the rest. Now, before we get too far, because I don't want to... I'm sealing off most of this, yes, I know that. My concern... Actually, I guess we could just look here. Strange noise from engine bay. Parts are still not discovered as these. We figured out almost all of this, but there's still a missing part. So I am going to seal this part of the car up because I don't think it's here. I think it's going to be in the timing area, which is the front section of the car, which clearly we can see that there's already a bad part there that's not registered on anything. But that's I'm pretty sure the inside of the car is probably fine. The only change I would double check on, and to be fair, we'll do that right now before we get too far into this rebuild, All this stuff is fine coming back onto the car. I think. But I think what I want to look at is... I kind of want to look back in here. And the reason I want to look back in here is we never checked the push rods. The rockers were fine, but we never checked the push rods. I know the con rods are fine. We checked that from underneath the car. You can't check the rods unless you take this off and look at them, I think. And they're hard to visually figure out if they're bad or not. Yeah, they come up as mysteries. So in order for us to actually diagnose this and be sure that we're done with the interior of the car, we got to take this apart. This one looks bad here. It's fine. Where's the bad one? Yeah, see, there is a bad one. Alright. Boom. Gimme. Oops. We're going to put it in right away. Because the other ones were fine. The ones that are bad, we're going to replace right away. So we know which ones we've looked at. That could be the last engine issue. Okay. Yeah, that looks fine. Alright, so we can put the rest of these back. So simple enough to figure out. And then the rest of the issues are going to probably be on the front timing area. Which we can look at kind of right now. We're not going to finish this car this episode, and it's not a matter of finishing it or anything like that. It really just comes down to, this is not, we already finished the quest car, so now we're pretty much back at square one with leveling. And I think that's going to be a thing for a while, guys, is until we finish all the quest repairs, we've still got quite a bit of work to do. So, you know, it is what it is kind of a thing. And because of that, it's like we're going to probably repair a car for the quest, and then I'm going to work on getting us leveled up to the next level. Is really that. Okay, so the only thing we haven't looked at with regards to the engine, we clearly need a water pump pulley. I have a feeling the timing stuff might be bad. Let's see. Okay, we don't need those anymore. We cleaned out the coolant so we can take the water pump off. Most of this looks pretty good. Now here's what we're interested in figuring out. It all looks okay. Let me see here. Strange noises from engine bay. So the only thing I can think of now is the gears. So we've done kind of everything else. Alright, let's first of all buy that broken part. And then let's reassemble this. Because it looks fine. But it still says we're having engine issues. So the only area that we have not fiddled with, in my opinion, is going to be the transmission. The gearbox and all that. So we'll take a look at that in a minute. And after that, if it's still messed up, we gotta do a full engine tear apart, and that's gonna take a while. Hoping we don't have to, I really am. but sometimes you just can't get away from it. Alright. Let's see. We gotta lift the car up, and then we can put the rest of the stuff in the car. I'm not gonna put the coolant in until I know we're done. Now let's take a look. First things first, let's fix this. Take that off. And that off. Here we go. So we got a bad clutch ring, or clutch release bearing, bad plate. Starter back on. Put the drive shaft back on. Yay. Really quick, because I see it. Let me just do this real quick. There's only 2 suspension problems, and I'll tell you right now, we can see what they clearly see what they are. It's the shock absorber caps here, and the one that we have to do the dismantling of up in the front. Right, it's this shock here. And again, we can. All we got to do for this guy. You know what? I know we might go a few minutes over. I just want to kind of show as much of this as I can, like my little process of elimination here. We also got to get to this at some point as well. So let's add this to the list. Boom. Ooh, there's some bad bushings too. It's clearly a bad bushing. Hiding suspension, you say? Oh, bad wheel hub bearing. See, the more we look at this, the more things are getting revealed to us here. Which means these things could be bad on the other side of the car, so I'm going to check that real quick too. Doesn't look good. Oh no, it was actually fine. As was that. Okay. Let's put these back together. Somehow I have a bunch of like nicer quality ones. They probably came from an older car, so we'll try them out. See if it counts. And there's still a part not discovered. I bet you it's the shock. Okay. I want to buy 2 of those. Don't think we need those yet, but we'll leave it there. just in case the bushings come up. We could also check the rear bushings as well if we're still not getting a completed vehicle here. We haven't really done much checking of the back, so there's that element too. The rest of that looks good. The wheel hub bearing looks good back there, so yeah. You know what I think I know what the engine problem is? The air filter we haven't checked, specifically the casing. So we'll check that in a moment. Okay, this all looks pretty good. I don't think anything back here looks bad. So we're not going to worry about that. Fuel filter looks good. Okay, so what did I say? Oh yeah, we need to do the rest of the underbelly of this beast here. That's probably the air filter. General running gear control and repair. Yeah, that one's gonna be tricky. Yeah, we didn't see anything else. Again, it could be something in the back of the car. It could just be a bushing somewhere that we didn't spot, like down in this area. We'll have to look at that. Because I don't really see anything here. We saw that this was bad over here. Bushing looks okay. So does that one. I don't know. Might have to run it on the test path, but before we even get to that, let's finish the air filter. And put in the fluids, and then we can run it on the test path. Because look at that. That thing is... ugh. The clips somehow are fine. The air filter inside could even be okay. Who knows? That is clearly not going to fly. And the air filter's fine. It's this in the base. Nice. What about the brakes? Okay, that's okay. Let's check our thing again. So the engine repair is done. Gear control. General engine control. Suspension. Rear shock absorber cap. Rubber bushing. And a part that's not discovered. And we'll do that stuff now. Alright, so three things. Oil. We'll run it on the test path real quick and see what we can come up with. Into the oils. That's good. I've never discovered that, so it leads me to believe what we need to do. Let's see what we can find. Why did that sound so horrible? Okay, the front brakes look fine. It could just be a brake thing, but it was the suspension. I think is what it was getting at. Okay, not really anything there. Nothing there. Hopefully we find something. Not really. Small rubber bushing. Okay, we did find something. The small rubber bushings are almost exclusively at the back of the car, so that means it's got to be back there somewhere. And there's only a few pieces, so yeah, it's just something we could not have ever eyeballed, which is fine. It's just a little frustrating when you're like, really, something I could not eyeball. So we actually now can go in here, highlight that, and it should show us where it is. There it is. Yeah, hidden behind everything, so there's no way we would have been able to eyeball this. Which is fine, but that's why we have our diagnostic tools. No, everything looks good. Let's get our money here. That puts us at 1358. We're still about 150 short, unfortunately. And so because of that, it's like we still can't continue. Don't know what the other tasks are. But you know what? Just grab it because we can diagnose the car for anything we want. Oh god, it's the 18 van. Dun 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 dun. That's not gonna be enough to level off of though, but whatever. Shocks and exhaust can't be too hard, and brakes. So we'll grab both of these cars. And these, if I will finish these 3 cars off camera or off recording, because it's just they're really easy. They'll be really easy, and it guarantees us pretty much the level without having to tear a whole engine apart, because we'll just diagnose all the cars. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on these few guys. We'll get level 21, and if we get another story car, I'll be back with you guys. If we don't, I'll keep working. Pretty much, I think that's a pretty straightforward task. So I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Studios for more live gaming action. As well as you can check out more action here. Oh, look at that. Increase car performance by 13 to 18%. So we buy a lot of custom parts. So anyway, yeah, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. And when we come back, we will be level 21 or even as high as 22, and as long as they give us a quest car. Because I believe when we came out here, there wasn't one. So we clearly have to at least level once. And maybe we'll get a quest car. I haven't decided. I may even try to burn us down a bit and go up several levels. I haven't decided, but there is something along that line I'm considering, and the reason being that it'll help us get through this a lot faster. But I don't know. We'll see. I haven't committed to any of that yet, so we'll see. I'm more concerned about just getting to the next storyline mission. We'll figure it out from there. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll see you guys next time.